I'm 16 and I'm in my room. And across the room, I hear my mom in her room and I hear silent sobbing. And if you've ever seen your mom cry, then you know that they never want you to see them cry. And so they'll do like this weird silent sob where you can barely hear them, but you can still catch a glimpse of their sadness. And so I walk in and I see her just trying to control her tears, and she sees me and she just bursts in tears. And so I'm asking her what's wrong, and she says that we're not going to be able to pay rent. That's going to be very hard, and that she's stressed. She doesn't know what she's going to do. And I look back on those times and I realize that this too shall pass. Every moment that feels like hell, every moment that feels like it's the end of the world, and I'm sure you've had it, everybody has, whether that be heartbreak, whether that be you failing at something, whether that be you not achieving a certain dream or goal you had. In the moment, it feels like it's the end of the world. In the moment, it feels like you're never going to get out of this hole, like you're stuck in there forever. But if you look back on it, you realize that this too shall pass, that you're in a better place now, and that more likely than not, you grew from whatever pain you experienced. And I just want to show you as proof. I'm not sure if you see, but there's an ocean there. Because of seeing that, and because of the reality that that experience of seeing my mom cry hit me with, I got my shit together and I put my head down, and a good amount of months later I found a job online as an appointment sitter, and I'm able to help my mom pay rent for this apartment right in front of the beach. It's where she's always wanted to live, and we wouldn't have been able to do this without my work. And I don't say this from an egotistical point of view. I say this from a point of view that it's a blessing. That every bad experience that you've ever had hasn't been a bad experience. It's actually been a gateway to a good experience. Because, for example, going back to the story, we were supposed to leave that apartment after things had gotten a little bit better. We were going to move into this cheap house, and we were going to rent it out from this lady. She was a nurse, and she lived in another state, so she was renting it out to us for very cheap. And my mom was super excited. She had seen the house, she loved it. At the last day before we were supposed to move in, or the last couple of days before we were supposed to move in, the nurse calls and she's like, "I've had second thoughts. I don't want to rent it out to you guys. I'm sorry." And so at that point, we had finished the lease in the apartment we lived in. The house where we were supposed to live in had just been stripped from underneath us. And we were thinking that for the next 3 months or so, we were going to be homeless or having to live at a friend's house. And if that had never happened, if we had gone to that house, my mom would have never found this beautiful apartment by the beach and fulfilled one of her dreams, which was living by the beach. And so I have this with every single thing that's gone wrong in my life. It's made me who I am. And honestly, I can't think back to something that I would have changed. Because this too shall pass doesn't just mean that it'll go by. This too shall pass means that if you endure the pain that you have at the moment, if you understand that this pain is meant for you to learn something and it's a lesson, not a loss, then you'll be all right. And there's a lot of young men nowadays which are going through some very tough shit. And I understand you. I really do, bro. Because I've been through some tough shit. But what would life be if everything was perfect? What would life be if you never had to suffer? What would life be if you never had these bad experiences and everything made you happy? Sure, I mean, maybe overall you'd be happier, but I promise you wouldn't be more fulfilled. Because I think happiness comes from suffering as a man. Because we want freedom, and suffering are like chains. And so when we finally get to the other side of these chains through our hard work and through our effort, we can truly value ourselves for the freedom we've given ourselves and our loved ones. And that is where true fulfillment comes in, not anything else. True fulfillment will not come from a woman. It will not come from your children. It will come from you fulfilling your purpose and you becoming free. So if you're going through a bad moment, I'm speaking to you. I know that the hole feels deep. I know that it feels like you're looking up and you can't get out. There's no ladder to climb. And you're just digging yourself deeper and deeper. And you have two options. You could wallow in your pity, of course, and I wouldn't blame you because it's tough. But there's a few men out there that are ambitious, that know that this too shall pass. And so I want you to embody that, bro. I want you to understand that the two decisions you have are to continue digging yourself into this hole, or to use this hole as a lesson to never fall into one and to build yourself to greater heights than you could have ever fucking imagined. And I don't want you to take that lightly. Greater heights than you ever could have imagined. I'm telling you, things you never would have deemed you were capable of. And that is the magic of suffering. That is the magic of understanding that this too shall pass. If you're a young man and you're struggling, you're going through a tough time, I want to be able to be there for you, honestly. I want to make sure that you truly understand what I'm saying here. There's a free community down below, Discord, where I'll be directly guiding you on how to overcome this. And not as a person who is trying to domineer you, but as a person who's experiencing life with you as a young man, because even though I don't look like it, I'm 18. And so if you want somebody who can guide you, and if you want a place where you can feel welcome and where you can feel like you're meant to succeed with the people around you, there's a free community down below called Expansion. Join me in there. Send me a message on what you're struggling with, and I will check it out and message you back. Take care.